Alright, welcome to Astral Projection Day 76. Um, I've been out of town, so I haven't done this in a few days. I was working while I was out of town, not doing the regular astral projection procedures, but working on energy in the primary energy centers and working on dream stuff. So I can't say that I had any particular breakthroughs that I want to tell you about, other than a lot of really vivid dreams. And today the method is the rollout method again. And something that they talk about is cleanliness. They say that having really clean skin, fresh, clean skin, helps energy movement, and also clearing out the nasal passages. A lot of these things, I guess, interfere with the third eye center. And Brian talks about juice fasting, and then for a couple of days before, if he's going to engage like in a full day of doing this, and then a walk and a hot shower, and then during breaks he'll take walks or sit in the sun to clear his head and to stay grounded. So something to consider. The other advanced technique is the controlled sleep deficit method. So this is about getting the body to be really tired and keeping the mind alert. So being overtired is something that will help get the mental body to make the projected body double and move out of the body because it's too tired to follow along, or it lets go. You stay awake for exactly 1 hour before going back to sleep. Now, the way that you might do this is to sleep for exactly 6 hours, and then you could either stay up all night long and then try doing the work at noon the next day, or stay up all night long, stay up all day the next day, and not do the work until nighttime. They talk about the advantages and disadvantages of each of these. The disadvantage of staying up all night and then not going to sleep again until Saturday evening is that when you actually do the astral projection or the out-of-body experience, it will be cold and dark, and sometimes that's not the best environment to be doing the work in, but it does ensure that you are truly fatiguing the body because you've been up for so long. The opposite experience would be you don't sleep quite as you sleep for 6 hours, stay awake, but you don't stay awake for quite as long, and then you have the opportunity to be doing the out-of-body experience in daylight. However, you may not be quite as tired. So, either way you choose, you would get up, you'd splash cold water on your face or take a shower, do 1 full hour of wakefulness, and then do OBE related activity, like read experiences, read your journal, anything that is keeping you fully engaged in and promoting the out-of-body experience because you're staying in that state of awareness. And try to saturate your mind with the intention of having the out-of-body experience. Then you go to sleep, but you're not just trying to sleep, you're actually trying to encourage the out-of-body experience. And so anyway, that's how that technique works. I haven't tried this per se, but one of the things I was experimenting with this week was really, I was waking up in the middle of the night a lot, and then each time I would wake up, my mind would be really alert, my body would be asleep. So I would try and promote the experience. Still wasn't able to do it though. I'm not sure what it is. One final word on advanced methods here that they want to say is that sleep deficit is a really common factor in OBEs, and most people have their first out-of-body experience when they've woken up earlier than usual and when they were trying to get back to sleep. Today's session for me was 2 hours long. I mean, that's a pretty long session. What I was experiencing was a lot of tingling throughout my arms. It felt like my arms were almost detached from my body. I was having similar experiences in my legs. What I did was, what I really felt like I was starting to have an experience. I started doing the ascending elevator and then counting from the 1,000th floor and going up floor by floor. That seems to be really powerful for me still. I was also giving myself affirmations. If you did download the I think it's a 30-minute recording that Brian Mercer made on the affirmations, I was doing that, and what I was telling myself was that it was safe for my physical body to let go of my projected body double and the doubled consciousness, that my higher self was promoting this, that I loved the experience, and that was why it was safe for it to happen, because it was my destiny. I was telling myself all these kinds of affirmations. I felt like I was coming really close. What I did feel too was that my primary energy centers, I'm not feeling a lot of stimulation in there. I find it still difficult to get any sensation coming out of the primary energy centers, and it did feel as if there was something holding on to my projected body double with full consciousness in my spine. So all this week I was working on trying to really stimulate those centers, and I'm finding it to be a challenge. So not sure where to go. Had a lot of interesting dreams this week. I had a dream that I changed my last name. Had a very peculiar dream that there were children living on the ceiling, and some were killing the others. That was very peculiar. I had another dream that a small child was trying to distract me and, in a conniving way, take some turkey from me that I had, some like lunch meat sitting in a bag, and I yelled at him and told him that I knew what he was up to, and that I was bigger and wiser than he was. Felt like it was my ego, possibly. Battles with my ego is what I was thinking. I remember thinking to myself tonight when I was doing my astral projection work that it was my ego that was trying to protect me, and that it was okay. I was trying to persuade the ego to let me go. That everything was going to be okay. So, you try all kinds of different things, letting the body fall asleep. I do find that there's a lot of eye movement, and it still goes back to what Mr. Newport from Lucidology says, that the body, when having the out-of-body experience, is actually falling asleep, and part of the falling asleep state is not moving the eyes. Something else I experimented with tonight was, something that the Lucidology guy, Newport, says that you want to try and get the body to move into a breathing pattern that is exactly like the breathing pattern you have while you're asleep. And I don't know if I got there or not. He says to record your breathing so that you can emulate it. And one of the things I was trying to do was, so we're doing the rollout method, and I had mentioned before that Brian suggests going to, you're rolling like you're on a spit at the hours of the clock. I was doing a breathing in and feeling my body rise up above my physical body, and then when I would breathe out, it was a slow inhale. You often hear this when you listen to other people breathe. It's kind of like a So I would breathe in, imagine that the body double is moving up above my physical body, and then when I'd breathe out, I would immediately roll over and fall below my physical body. So I tried doing that. I also tried the fog method, or the mist method. That has a very interesting feeling to it. It's like your body's expanding out into this nebulous mist, and it's very light. So that was one of the things that triggered the sensations in my arms. So I encourage you to keep moving with that. I also was working with the rocket method, and this is, different because you're actually being pushed out into space. I was having a little bit more success with that. I was working with the ladder, working with the rope. The thing that I still have not really gotten a lot of traction from is focusing the eyes up into the third eye center. I keep going back to Robert saying this should be a powerful experience, and yet when I try it, it seems to take me out of where I am, whichever method I'm trying. So I'm not sure why that is. I find that curious. I haven't had a lucid dream or a lucid dream experience in days, so still kind of hoping to have that go on too. But had a lot of dreams this week, but just not a lucid one. So I hope some of that helped you guys if you're trying this out. And I think it's enough for me today. Ciao.